the track.
So today's Valentine's Day, and for Valentine's Day, I figured why not put out my top 5 Valentine's Day / romantic movies out for you guys to hopefully enjoy. This is going to be a very different video because this isn't a genre I'm really in love with at all or really care about, but I do have 5 movies I picked, and they're going to be very different from most lists, I feel like, because I'm not a rom-com person. Sam is, and I'll tell you what my guess that her top 5 is. She didn't tell me, so we'll see if I get it right. I'm not going to name them in order because that's going to be a whole nother process, but I'm going to give you 5 movies that I think would be on her Valentine's Day watch list. But getting into it, my number 5 would be Safe Haven, and I know it's a very unexpected movie for me to like, but I actually did see this in the movies on Valentine's Day and surprisingly enjoyed it. I did not want to go. Obviously, most men don't care to go watch sappy love stories in the theaters. It's just the way it is. Some do, and I'm not judging the people who do, but I actually really enjoyed the movie, and I've watched it since and still enjoy it. It's kind of a paint-by-numbers movie, but it's enjoyable. The main cast is really good in it, and it's turn your brain off and watch it fun. Like, I don't know what else to say. That's what this category really is. It's not really dramatic, sad movies. It's supposed to be uplifting and fun. My number 4 would be The Spectacular Now, starring Miles Teller. And this movie is another unexpected movie for me to like, but I fell in love with this film as soon as I watched it. Miles Teller has been one of my favorite younger actors that are out there right now. He's made great movies like Whiplash. This movie, War Dogs, was really good, and Only the Brave was one of the best movies that year. And this movie, he gives a great performance. You really buy the love between these characters, and there's more than just a love story here. There's an emotional ride with our main character of Miles Teller that really brought me into the film, but the love story is at the base of this movie and holds it together. And I loved it. Also, it's an A24 movie. I absolutely love that company. And that one was another hit for them. It's a safer hit. They've gotten a lot more creative in the past few years, but it was a safe hit for them, and I really enjoyed that film. My number 3 would be 50 First Dates, starring the great Adam Sandler and the not-so-great Adam Sandler, because, this is when he was at his prime time, towards the end of his prime time, comedic gold. And now he's kind of fell off, I'm going to be honest. I haven't liked a Adam Sandler movie besides Uncut Gems in years. I wish he would just switch over and do the dramatic stuff because he was excellent in that movie. But getting back to 50 First Dates, it's such a sweet movie with just a fun premise. A woman who can't remember every night. It's basically you hit reset on her brain, and a guy who loves her or wants her so badly that he's willing to win her over every single day, even down to if he had to be married and so on. I don't want to spoil anything, even that this movie's 15 years old, and I'm assuming everyone's watched it, but it's an amazing movie, really sweet concept, great cast, really funny at times, really sweet at times, even really sad at times, and I really think it's one of his best movies. My number 2 is The Big Sick with Kumail Nanjiani. I think I said it right, and I forgot who the woman is in it. I can't think of the actress's name in it, but their chemistry was great. This is a real love story of how Kumail Nanjiani met his wife and fell in love with her to a point. I don't think he was an Uber driver. In the movie, he's an Uber driver who's also doing comedy, but I know this movie's based off their relationship and how they met, or not so much how they met, how they stayed together and she got sick, and key the word big sick. But it's such a sweet movie. There's so many laughs. It was one of the best movies of that year. And I don't know if it won screenplay, but it was nominated for screenplay, and it definitely deserved it. It was a very underseen movie, so if you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. Ray Romano gives a great supporting role, and Holly Hunter also gives an amazing supporting role, and it was great to see Ray Romano back in films. And this year last year he did The Irishman, but before The Big Sick and The Irishman, he's been kind of gone for a while. He hasn't been in the limelight, and he did great in both of those. Obviously, Kumail Nanjiani does a great job, and I believe he wrote the movie. I don't think he directed it, though, but I believe he wrote the movie, and it was just a fun, sad, emotional ride, and it paid off big time for me. I believe it was in my top 15 movies of that year that it came out. Was that 2017? 2017, I think. It was just a great time, in my opinion. Definitely check it out if you haven't. Now getting into my number one, what I know a lot of people are not going to expect this, because even people that know me and know about my feelings with this movie, because initially I didn't have the greatest reaction to this movie. That would be Call Me By Your Name. What is a shocking choice for number one, because it's not a stereotypical romance movie. It's a lot deeper than that, and that's why it is my number one, because I don't like just movies that have the love story and it's paint by numbers and by the end there's a fight and then they get back together. What I'm sure that's in this movie, I can't remember to a T the fights or anything, but I'm sure that's in this movie. But there's so much more to it. The acting is phenomenal. This is what put Timothée Chalamet on the map, and he's one of the best young actors out there today. Armie Hammer does a great job, even though it's a little weird how old he is and how young Timothy is. That threw me off at first, but their love is so, real. It just feels so real, even that they're two straight men, at least from what I know, and no judgment if they're not, but it seems like they're really in love. And the dad, I forgot his name, but the dad in this is absolutely phenomenal. I really thought he was going to get a nomination for the Oscars of that year, and he didn't. But either way, still a great performance, still a great love story. There's some comedic elements, there's some love elements, and it was just that last shot of Timothée Chalamet by the fire will go down in history as one of the greatest end scenes of all time. And the fly flying around his face, for him not to break character was just amazing. And since then, he's gone on to do nothing but amazing films. Lady Bird, he did a great job in that. He was in Beautiful Boy, what is an absolutely amazing film, and I really wish I could own that. But they haven't put it out on Blu-ray, unfortunately, but that is an amazing film. I thought he got snubbed for the Oscar for that movie. He should have at least got a nomination, if not one. And he's going to be in Dune next year, which is going to be a big blockbuster for him. I can't wait to see what he does with his career, because he is amazing. But as I said earlier, I'm going to get into what I think would be on Sam's list. She can correct me in the comments below. I think Crazy Stupid Love would definitely be in there. How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. The Notebook has to definitely be in there. I would say Titanic, and just as a random one, I'm going to put Never Been Kissed. But I do think Call Me By Your Name might slip in there now that I said it, because she wouldn't have thought of that movie to put in her top 5. So either Never Been Kissed or Call Me By Your Name. Switch those two out. But I think the other 4 are definitely in there. Titanic, Notebook, Crazy Stupid Love, and How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. Let me know down below, Sam. Happy Valentine's Day. And to everyone else, have a happy Valentine's Day. Maybe watch one of these movies. Like, subscribe, hit the bell, and I'll see you next time.